Hello, everyone. Welcome to our channel. This is Dan McElfresh with St. Louis Living, powered by Narrative Real Estate. And today I have the pleasure for our small business spotlight to talk with Joshua Maloney. So I'm going to let him talk about the company that he represents here in just a moment, and just give you guys an idea of why he's so excited about our premier home maintenance company that he is working with. So Joshua, if you could just kind of jump in and tell us a little bit about yourself,
Sure.
tell people why you're in St. Louis and why you are representing this amazing company.
Yeah, absolutely. First, I want to thank you for having us on. It's a great privilege to, be able to get our message out about our company and, especially working with you. But yeah, my name is Joshua Maloney. I'm the Director of Sales and Growth for Guardex. We are a proactive home maintenance company. So we want to make sure that you can take the time to spend in your house, not having to make sure that you're checking on your gutters or your HVAC cleaning or making sure you got batteries in your smoke alarms. We want to make sure that you can enjoy your home and use it to create memories instead of headaches.
Yeah, I love that. And I know we'll dive more into this, but one of the things you and I talked about when we connected at networking event was that it's something especially first-time home buyers really, really need. It's all the things they don't think about. I know gutters, especially if you don't have gutter guards, it's one of the things that people always forget to clean.
Right,
So,
right. And you don't want to
uh,
be jumping up on that ladder.
no, no, no. Especially, some of these houses are high. Like I have a two-story house, and if you have a two-story house on a hill with a walkout basement, you're up a
A
long
four-story
ways,
house.
right? Yeah, it's crazy. So, Joshua, tell me a little bit. Tell me the story behind this business. How did it get started? Who's your founder?
Sure. Yeah, our founder is Jonathan Pratt. He actually is a general contractor. We have something that sets Guardex apart is that we are attached to a full service general contractor. So
Oh,
not
wow.
only are
Okay.
we able to come out throughout the year and make sure that your home maintenance is up to date, if we find a problem that is bigger than when we're coming out for that appointment, we can always circle back and come up with a plan to address whatever is happening. Or if you want to have your kitchen remodeled, we can also follow through with that as well. So that's one of the biggest things. And him being in the industry for so long, he was really tired of seeing people have to go through costly repairs with things that could have been prevented if maybe you had someone come out and check on it. So a lot of times, like your HVAC, not a lot of people think that you have to clean, your HVAC every year or, clean out your dryer vents every year. So we want to make sure that we're trying to tackle those issues before they turn into a bigger problem.
That's amazing, and I would agree with you. It's being in real estate myself. It's one of the things I see is home maintenance. There's so many things that you plan for, and then there's all the things that you just don't think about, and they come up,
Right.
and you don't know what to do with them. So that's awesome. What would you say is the number one thing that sets your business apart from other like general contractors or maintenance?
Sure. Well, the biggest thing for us is that we are focused on proactive home maintenance. We want to tackle those issues before they come up. Before, you're having to pay $5,000 for a new furnace. We want to make sure that we can check in, make sure, hey, this is what it's going to look like in 3 months. Maybe we have to address it in 3 months, but we want to give you at least a heads up. And then the biggest thing that sets us apart is we want to build a relationship with the homeowner because with our program, not only do we want to come and make sure that your home is okay, we want to make sure that the person in the home is okay as well. So if we can build that relationship with you, our contractors are great that come out. We want to make sure that if there is something that comes up along the way, you already know who to talk to, whether it's you're calling me to say, hey, Josh, we need someone to come out and take a look
Yep.
at this, or it's one of our contractors came out and said, hey, this is what we're looking at. This is where we need to, address this situation sooner than later. And having that trusted partner, especially since we're trying to really work with our veterans and our seasoned homeowners this season, especially in the spring, it can be tough to find, reliable contractors to come out sometimes. So we want to make sure that you already know who to call when something like that does arise in your home.
Okay, very good. That's great. Uh, it's home ownership is one of those things that people don't always realize what they're getting into until they get into
Right,
it.
right.
So we have always, I will say, that's one of the things I always tell my clients is like we always try to have contractors and people set aside. Like I'm not a one transaction and done. I want you to reach out to me whenever something comes up. And
Right.
having someone like you where I'm like, hey, this guy, they're going to take care of all of it for you. I think is fantastic. So, um, Is there a customer success story that you guys have that you're like, hey, this is just amazing. This is one of the things that we've done that's really helped. If so, could you share that with us?
Well, one of the things that, like I said, we want to build the relationship with the homeowner, their family. So a lot of times we get some, adult children that have older parents that maybe they don't live in the same neighborhood. Maybe they
Mm,
live out of state, or maybe they had to move away for work, or maybe they have they're busy with kids and having to pick them up from school, and maybe not have enough time to pop over at their parents' house all the time. But we did have this one where the parents were still driving, still able to get around, but like you said earlier, that home maintenance part can be really tough to maintain, especially if you are older. Creating the ability for us to come in and address some of the things that they had to needed to address in the home, whether it's cracks in the basement in their foundation, making sure that we're winterizing their pipes for we've had some crazy freezes the last year or so. So we are able to come in and really help them feel safe in their home. We even installed, handrails if they for the showers. So, being able to help, adult children and their families, especially if they're not able to get there. We know that life can be crazy, especially if you have young kids at home. But we want to make sure that we can keep those loved ones safe. So, and also having that point of contact, if there is something that goes wrong, they're not maybe having to call their adult children. They already know John, the contractor, came out to, a couple weeks ago. I can call him if I have an issue.
that's awesome. I love that. So in the in the contractor field, I know for sure there's a lot of misconceptions. What would you say is a common misconception that you come up against?
The biggest one for a lot of people these days with, where we are is affordability. Everything's getting more and more expensive these days, it feels like. But
Yes.
your home is your biggest investment for most people, right? So why not have the same protection that you have on your car for your home? So what we do is we want to make sure that our services are affordable for everyone. We don't want finances to be a barrier for you to not be able to take care of your home and get quality service in your home. So we try to make sure that all we have as many avenues as we can to partner with our customers to help them get into into the product. So it's not gonna. I always tell people it's probably less than what you're paying for car insurance every month. So and that gives you the peace of mind that someone's gonna make sure that your home is taken care of. So like I said earlier, you can enjoy that time in your home with your family and make memories instead of thinking about when am I going to have to go do this maintenance for the spring or summer or fall or coming into winter.
Right. I love what you just said because when you think about like your car, for instance, if you don't get an oil change when you need an oil change, then you're, I was going to say 10,000, but now it's like $30,000 investment you might
Right.
break, right? And it's the same thing at the
Exactly.
house. Like, we as a real estate agency, we want that investment to grow and grow over time. But the only way that it grows and grows like it should is if we take care of it.
Right. And you
So,
call it an investment. For us, not only are we protecting your home, but we are protecting that investment, like you said,
yes,
because if you come up with a bigger issue, say we're up on the roof, a roof is, $40,000, $50,000 these days on some of these bigger homes. So if we can get in there and say, okay, well, just maybe this section needs a little TLC here versus, before we get
right.
to the bigger problem, then we can save some of that equity and home value for you down the road.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. This is a question I love to ask everyone. So, if you could have any superpower to help your business, what would it be?
Oh man, that's a tough one because I'm a big superhero guy, and I think there's just so many options. But I came up with Doctor Strange because I want to be able to. I wish I could duplicate myself. I wish I could go and tell 10 times, 20 times as many people as I can about Guardex because I really believe in this product. I love that we work for the community. We're really focused on working with our veterans, our first responders, seasoned homeowners, people, like you said, new homeowners. There's so many people that can help. And as someone that has, I grew up in my parents' home that they lived for 50 years. People take pride in that. So we want to make sure that you have someone that is, taking just as much pride in your home as you are. So if I could duplicate myself like Doctor Strange, I would.
I love Doctor Strange. That's a great one. And you're right. You know what? If I could duplicate myself, as long as they did what I asked them to, it'd be
Right, right.
fantastic.
You got to have that in fine print there.
Right, right. So tell me, who is your, and tell our audience, who is your ideal customer or client? You've kind of already hit on it, I think, a little bit, but
Sure.
just kind of clarify that a little bit.
So, the nice thing is that we work all over St. Louis, whether it's St. Louis City, North County, Jefferson County, St. Charles. We're all over the place. So wherever you're at, any homeowner, we want to make sure that you're taken care of. But also we want to think of, our seasoned homeowners, like I said, our veterans, our retired service members and their spouses, busy entrepreneurs. I'm an entrepreneur myself. I'm busy. There's not a lot of time in the day I have to think about should I go up and clean out the gutters this weekend? So we want to make sure that if you want to make sure that your home is maintained correctly and throughout the year, that we are there to assist you. And whether, you have young children, older adult parents, we want to make sure that we are there to make sure that you can make those memories. And we also want to work with our disabled community as well, because like I said, we have a full service contractor on the other side. We have some partnerships with like Speak Easy St. Louis and Continuum,
Oh,
where they
cool.
can come
Okay.
out and do safety inspections on the house in case, say your loved one's coming home from rehab or the hospital. They can come in and
Okay.
make sure that the home is safe, and then we can make sure that we get that done. So when you have that confidence and peace of mind when your loved one comes home that they are in a safe environment.
Yeah, that's actually, when I think of your service, one of the areas I think of besides first time home buyers is your senior citizens, because, I have a dad who's in his 70s who should not be getting up on roofs, but he
Right.
does. And part of the reason he does is because he doesn't realize that there's services like yours out there. Now, he doesn't live in the area, but if he had a service like yours, then for whatever it costs a month, which I want to say, car insurance, so $200 or less a month, I think that's worth the hospital bill if he falls off a roof.
For
So,
sure, absolutely. Or even just having it in the back of your mind and having it stress you out. I grew up in, like I said, my parents' home. I was the one that was having to go up on the roof. I'm the one that's having to, check it and go around and check the windows. So, sometimes that's not what you want to focus your life on. So, especially if you're a seasoned homeowner, or you live in a larger home, a higher roof, or you're just feeling uncomfortable and you want to make sure that everything's checked out in your home, we can take care of that for you.
that's perfect. That's, yeah. Um, let's see. So describe your business in 3 words. Get creative. Tell me what 3 words you describe your business in.
This one's easy for me because this is what we preach. We preach that proactive home maintenance. We want to make sure that we are getting ahead of the issue. If you're waiting to have to use, say, a warranty, that you already are having the problem. So imagine it's wintertime and your heat goes out. Now you have to wait and see how long it's going to take for the heat guy to come out. How long is it going to take for them to
Mm-hmm.
get the parts? Versus maybe we came out a couple months ago, said, hey, Dan, we're looking at your heating unit is not looking great right now. Let's make a plan for how we can tackle this problem before we get into the critical months like December, like January, like February, where it's freezing, pipes are freezing, and that's going to cause even more damage. So we want to make sure that we are proactive in maintaining your home and, like I said, preserving that home value.
So, the story that comes to mind when you say that is actually my own. So our first home that we owned, um, right before, right as my wife actually went into labor, like
Oh
the day
no.
before, or as it was happening, um, our HVAC system went out. And so I may have got this slightly wrong, but I want to say we were at the hospital when my mother-in-law called because she was at home at her house and was like, "Hey, I think your heater's not working." So, like, that's what comes to mind to me, though, right? Because it never happens at opportune times. It never
Right.
does. It's always happening. Like your water heater goes out, your HVAC system goes out when it's 20 below outside. That's when it happens. So, having that maintenance ahead of time, at least you're going to prevent most of that stuff happening. Can't
Right.
prevent everything, but it definitely is going to prevent most of it and put you in a much better position in the future. So,
And then
I
I
love
also think of, when that does happen, do you know who you're going to call? You might not
Right.
have someone that's going to come out regularly that is certified to get your HVAC system back up and running. So having us come in regularly, build that relationship, you already know who to call if something like that happens. So then that's one less stressor that you're going to have if something like that does happen, especially if you're at the hospital waiting for
I
the baby to come.
Joshua, I was literally signing papers for the HVAC at the hospital.
Oh my
The guy
goodness.
that I worked with, he still remembers the story. I've called him a few times. He goes, "Yep, I know you. I was at the hospital with you."
Exactly.
So, yep.
Exactly.
Oh, goodness. What's one surprising thing people don't know about running a business as an entrepreneur?
Man, I think for me specifically, I'm a big you don't know what you don't know. So as someone that's been in a lot of different areas in sales, in business, you just don't, there's nothing, you're never going to know everything. So, and that can go with your home maintenance too. There are so many things that you might not think about. You might not think you have to check your window seals or your walkout drains or your dryer, vent to the outside. Whatever it is, you don't know what you don't know. That's where we want to come in and not only fix the problem, but we want to help educate too, because sometimes it might be something that you can do without having to have us come out, or it's something in between that might not be, crazy big that you feel the need to come out, but maybe we taught you how to clean out that dryer vent, so it's something that you and your family can do once a year as a fun family event, see all the lint that comes out. So
Right.
we you don't know what you don't know, and it's something that I always ask people. I'm very inquisitive about asking questions because I'm not only there, of course I'm the director of sales, so I'm trying to, my goal is to sell stuff, but I love learning. So learning about the customer and learning about our clients is what helps us build that relationship and learn where we can be most beneficial to them in their day-to-day life.
Yeah, you said that really well. That's perfect. Josh, this has been great. I love your energy. You
Appreciate it.
definitely, I can tell that you care about the people that you're working with. You have a huge passion for what you're doing. And I feel like that's the biggest thing that drives entrepreneurs. You have to be passionate about what you're doing. Um,
Absolutely.
so let's tell people how they can get a hold of you. So let's do
Sure.
obviously your name again, the company that you're with, and then whatever other ways are the best ways to get a hold of you. And then I will throw that up on the screen for all the viewers as well.
For sure. Yeah, we are all over. We're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Instagram. So you can see us at Guardex STL. And if you want to check out our website, it's guardexstl.com. You can see all of our services on there. And then if you want to get in touch with me, you can always get in touch with me on LinkedIn at Joshua Maloney. You'll see me on there as Guardex on there. And then you can also I'll give you my information so you can call me, text me, let me know if you have anything any questions. I'm here to help. We want to make sure that we can talk to as many people as we can, and especially, like I said, those veterans, active military, first responders, new homeowners, seasoned homeowners, anyone that needs help at home or wants to, maintain the value of their home. We can help you, and of course, we also want to talk about some of our exciting new partnerships. We are working with BMO Bank to work with our finance department. Like I said, we want to make sure that everyone has this available, and if you qualify, you can get up to 0% for up to 15 months. So you can essentially
Okay.
try Guardex for free for the first year, and then you won't have any questions about it after that because we're going to take care of all of the things that you need taken care of there.
That's perfect. And I think you had mentioned your phone number.
Yes, phone number is going to be area code 224-392-9561. And you can also reach me at
Perfect.
jmaloney at guardexstl.com.
All right. That is awesome. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Again, Dan McElfresh here with Joshua Maloney. I am with St. Louis Living, powered by Narrative Real Estate. If you haven't had a chance, hit that subscribe button and notifications for all of our small business spotlights. Go ahead and do that now.